What's up, my brothers? The Potato Man is in the house, son! Woo! I don't know how to start this shit. It's my first video ever, first time editing. Probably it's been a very long time since I speak in English, so I'm stuttering like a motherfucker. So hey, bros, please give me a break for this first one. And I know that with time I'm going to improve a lot and speak way more clearly than I'm going to be speaking in this first video. So for those of you who do not know who I am, no, I'm not the bad guy from the game Fallout. I'm Mr. Potato. I'm a fitness writer. I answer questions on the platform called Quora, and I teach people about the physiology of training, the training concepts and methods, and I talk a lot of fucking shit. I'm an expensive dude, as you probably already noticed. So that's what we are going to be doing here. I'm going to take the questions that you guys send me on Quora, and I'm going to answer them in video format now. If you're interested in sending a question, go to mrpotato.quora.com. There you will also find my archive. So there's a lot of fucking articles there. There's more than 3,000 articles that I wrote there. And you can already learn a lot of things with those articles alone. But don't be afraid to ask a question. Ask any question, even questions that probably I already covered. Because revisiting information, digesting more thoroughly what you already learned will always improve your understanding of the subject. Even for me, I learn a lot by explaining the law of thermodynamics for the 10th billionth time. I learn a lot when I'm going through the strength training and revisiting 531 and revisiting all the other training concepts and methods. I learn when I explain things. And you learn it too. So we both are revisiting the subjects that we like. And man, I'm fucking passionate about this shit. So it isn't an effort to me. It's a fucking pleasure to be talking about this shit, to have the luxury to be talking to you guys and you guys following me and stuff. So thank you for everybody that supports my writings. So without further ado, let's go to some questions. The first question was sent by Vishal Jaiswal. What's up, Vishal, my brother? How you doing, boy? Woo, 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 woo. Let's go! Oh God, this is so weird, man. But hey, I will do my best to try to keep the same energy that I got in my writing here. It's my energy after all. It's the voice that I hear in my head when I'm typing. So I'm going to do my best to keep the energy the same as the articles when I'm answering stuff here. So let's take a look at Vishal's question. Can both the myofibrillar hypertrophy and sarcoplasmic hypertrophy happen at the same time? Alright, that's an excellent question. But first, let's take a few steps back. Let's start by defining what is hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is a muscle quality. It's when your muscle gains size. Muscle qualities are things that, when provided the right stimulus, your muscle adapts to emphasize that muscle quality. For instance, when you pick up heavy stuff, your body adapts by developing your strength. There are several other muscle qualities like speed, power, flexibility, coordination, anaerobic endurance, work capacity, and VO2 max. Size is one of the muscle qualities that you can develop in your muscles. There's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy that is stimulated by metabolic stress, and there is myofibrillar hypertrophy that is stimulated by mechanical resistance. But there is also a third mechanism for hypertrophy, stretch-mediated hypertrophy, which is stimulated when you overload the muscle through a stretched position. Myofibrillar hypertrophy usually happens when you're working from 4 to 10 reps. You need mechanical resistance. You need force going through the muscle fibers. So your brain can identify that there's a need for more muscle. There's a need to build more muscle fiber, to build more contractile protein structures. If there isn't a need, if the weights are not heavy enough to create a necessity for more muscle to be built, myofibrillar hypertrophy will not be stimulated. So always keep that in mind. In your training, especially in the big compound moves, you need to be moving heavy weights. The heaviest weights that you can move in a bodybuilding rep range of 4 to 12 reps. When you go beyond 12 reps, usually that's not heavy enough to stimulate myofibrillar hypertrophy because it's simply not enough mechanical resistance. It's simply not enough tension, not enough weight. When you go beyond 12 reps, you are working with less than 70% of your 1 rep max, shifting the stimulus that you are introducing to emphasize another type of hypertrophy, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Because you are doing so many reps, you're doing more than 12 reps, doing 20 reps, 25 reps, each rep is consuming fuel. The fuel for the contraction, the creatine, the glycogen, they are being burned, they are being fermented within the sarcoplasm of the cell. And this process generates acidity. It changes the pH of the cell environment. And because of it, the cell is damaged by this acidity, leading people to believe that damage to the muscle cell is a stimulus to hypertrophy, but it's simply wrong because the damage doesn't cause hypertrophy. Preventing the damage causes hypertrophy. Because if the cell environment remains acid, it's going to be to completely consume the muscle cell. It's going to completely destroy it. The acid don't stop destroying things out of the sudden. So the body has to send metabolites to restore, reestablish the levels, stable levels of acidity within the cell environment. And by doing so, these metabolites occupy space within the muscle sarcoplasm, promoting sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. The cells get stretched, it get filled with metabolites. But don't hear what I'm not saying. If you feel a burn in the muscle, it's that acidity doing the thing. If you feel the pump on your muscle, it's the metabolites accumulating inside the muscle cell. So these two indicators are great indicators for you to know that you are introducing sarcoplasmic hypertrophy to your muscles. So to your question, can sarcoplasmic hypertrophy and myofibrillar hypertrophy happen at the same time? Yes, they always happen at the same time. Biology is very, very, very complicated and everything happens all at once. What we are going to do by shifting the way that you train is emphasize one or another. But since there are different mechanisms, it's intelligent for you to have both mechanisms addressed within your training. So let's say you're training your chest, you will use a heavy bench press to emphasize myofibrillar hypertrophy, and then you can do push-ups for high reps, like 20 reps, 40 reps, to generate that metabolic stress that will emphasize sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That was hard, man. That was really very, 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 very hard. I think I'm going to answer one more question or two tops before I need to stop recording and finish this video. But I was planning on answering 15 questions, but it's so fucking hard to express myself in English that I'm not. Especially these scientific topics, it's very, very, very way harder than I expected. But I'm going to progressively overload my recording skills and my talking skills, and I'm sure that in the next videos I'm going to be way more efficient in communicating these things. So Vishal, my brother, I hope I was able to shed some light upon this darkness, my friend. You know what I'm saying? So bang that iron and stay on the iron path, bro. Big kiss. Let's go to the next question, which was sent by Almighty E. You need that introduction, bro. You need that introduction because you are one of my patrons. I know that. I know that you are sending that shout out to the Potato Man. Let's go, bro. So let's see this question. What's up, Mr. Potato? You good? I'm fine, bro. Couple of questions. Number one, what's your stance on the Cordyceps? What's a Cordyceps? Oh, Cordyceps. I don't know. It's from the Last of Us. All right. What's my stance on the Cordyceps? Let me think about it. But well, first thing, it's the best explanation for zombies ever. There's no explanations that beat it. The magic explanation, the virus explanation, none works. This one might work. Why? Because think about it. Penicillin, which is the first effective antibiotic that we ever had in human history. Like before that, it was in the 1930s or 1920s. Before that, man, every fucking time you got hurt in whichever way, you are risking death from infection. So that's why in the 1920s and 1930s, life expectancy skyrocketed, because dealing with an infection wasn't a big deal anymore. You can simply take the penicillin and everything is going to be all right. Back in the day, before the 20s and 30s, if you get scratched by a cat, you're risking death. You can get that scratch can get infected and you die, like the cat scratch fever. Cat scratch fever. Those boys didn't have penicillin, bro. But the thing is, penicillin is extracted from fungi. The cordyceps is also a fungi. It's not a wild exaggeration to imagine that it can develop properties that are similar to what penicillin can do, that preserve your body intact, that skeletal muscular system preserves it for a long fucking time in that state. Other explanations like the one on The Walking Dead, that you die and there's a virus infecting your brain that controls your body. Okay, the fucking creature is not breathing. It's not ingesting oxygen and throwing carbon dioxide out to recycle the oxygen within its organism, oxygenating the organism. So what will happen without that? It's that the body will rot, will simply rot. So in The Walking Dead, the way to prevent the apocalypse is just lock yourself inside some building and wait until they are rotten. And they will not be able to move because their muscles and all the musculoskeletal system will rot away. And they will not be able to move. It's one of the things that drive me fucking insane about that fucking show. The zombies, when they go to kill the zombies, they slap them on the side of the head, and the zombie head explodes. But when the zombie touches them, like a gentle touch to their fucking belly, and the fucking zombie opens up their bowels like it's nothing. It's fucking retarded. It doesn't take in consideration any of the stuff that I love, the strength, building the muscle system. It doesn't take in consideration any of that shit. It just spits on my face and says, okay, I'm a rotten thing walking around, and now give me your bowels. It's stupid as fuck. It's absolutely stupid. Now, on the cordyceps, the fucking fungus can be the thing that is breathing. Fungus breathe. Most fungus require oxygen. There are some that doesn't require oxygen, but fungus can breathe. When it is attached to your system, fungus itself can be oxygenating the body, oxygenating the musculoskeletal system, and spreading and building upon it and changing its characteristics. Why they die when they shot them in the head? That I don't know. That I don't know. That is something that, to me, if the fungus is attached to the spinal cord can control the entire system. Maybe it's taking advantage of the real estate that's inside the brain that took millions of years to develop such a sophisticated movement system. That's one reason that probably when you shot them in the head they die, but I don't know. It's a great theory though. It's pretty interesting. So let me take a look at the second part of your question. What is a good length for a farmer carry? Currently, I just walk till failure. Not muscle failure, but fingers. I'm working on solving the handle issues, but then I'm not sure how long to go for. Once I start cranking the weight up, I can currently walk a mile with 60 pounds aside and not care, apart from the handle digging into my fingers. Okay, the way that you are doing the exercise right now, by going in these long walks with the 60 pounds, you are working primarily your grip endurance. It isn't enough weight to stimulate much else other than that. You are going to build a decent grip endurance, but outside of that, it's not really a great idea because you're putting a lot of stress into your joints, in the joints in your knees, the joints in your hips, even your spine by walking with those weights in your hands. I think a better approach would be to use heavier dumbbells, use heavier weights, and go for like 30 yards, 50 yards, and do it in bouts, do it in intervals, and really bring the central nervous system into action. Also, because you are gripping the handles on the implement, you are activating your peripheral nervous system very, 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 very hard. The peripheral nervous system, it acts like the kickstart. It's what kickstarts the engine. Think about your muscles like an engine. Think about the central nervous system as the communication center with the brain, and think about the peripheral nervous system, the innervation that goes to the points of your fingers and the points of your toe and your toes as the ignition. So the muscles are the engine, the central nervous system is the transmission, and the peripheral nervous system is the ignition that allows for movement in both the car and our bodies. Also, aside from the strength gains that you can make with heavy farmer's carry, it's a great stimulus for your joints, because if you do it, if you walk for long distance with a lot of weight, it's the repetition that eats away the soft tissue in the joints. So it's a better approach to use heavier weights and go for shorter distances. That way you can reinforce your tendons, reinforce your ligaments, all the soft tissue within the joints can get a nice stimulus to adapt and get stronger. The farmer's carry overall is fucking awesome. It's one of the best exercises for you to include in your routine, and I think you should shoot for your body weight, at least your body weight. Anything less than your body weight, it's not really a good weight for a farmer carry. Of course, if you are a beginner, it doesn't matter. Pick whatever weight, pick a weight that is safe for you, that you feel comfortable walking with, and let your joints and your body progress. You should shoot for it, your body weight, at least your body weight, but don't go trying to do the optimal right out of the bat. As a beginner, your only mission is to go to the gym. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Everything that I talked about in this video before, it doesn't matter. Your only mission as a beginner is to go to the gym. Your only enemy is not going. If you show up there, if you breathe inside the gym, you are going to build muscle. You are going to get stronger. So make sure you are going to the gym. That's your first mission. For the first year, just go. Don't worry about anything else. Don't think about anything else. Just pick your fucking ass off of the couch and go to the gym. That's it. And that's it for the video. That's it for today. That's it for questions. I'm fucking tired as fuck. It took me 8 hours to record this, and I still have to edit everything to see if everything fits, because I had to chop this off. This recording software is looking like Frankenstein, because I could not rant. I had the rant already done inside my head, and when my voice started saying the words, it simply didn't flow. I could not rant, and my goal is to start ranting like a motherfucker. As soon as the neuroplasticity of the brain teaches my tongue how to pronounce the syllables, man, you guys are in for a treat. So thank you for watching this all this way. If you watch this shit all the way, I'm gonna promote my sponsor, Legion Athletics. So go to legionathletics.com and buy the Performance Surge. It's the only reason that I was able to do this video, to be honest, because the ashwagandha extract that is inside of here reduced my stress levels, and this shit also has alpha GPC on it, and alpha GPC is a pre-cholinergic, so it makes you get more focused, it makes you think better. And there's peak ATP here too, which is ATP, it's energy for the cells. So the Performance Surge was the reason that I was able to pull this off, and consider buying their products at legionathletics.com, and use promo code Mr. Potato for a special offer, and the shipping is already free and stuff. I'm not really good at promoting. I'm going to get better as exactly like the other aspects of these videos. So thank you so much for watching this all the way, and this is the energy that I'm going to bring in the next one. This is how I want to feel, how I want to talk, but it's simply too hard for me right now. I need to learn how to bring the energy. I need to invoke Almighty BRUDDAH to these videos too. But since I'm just a Padawan and just a disciple, I'm just starting to learn how to make videos, starting to learn how to talk. It's going to take a while, but I'm going to get there. So praise BRUDDAH, baby! And stay on the iron path.